Hey guys, what is up? It's Dusty here and welcome back to another episode of the Daily Crypto News, and today have some quick updates for you guys on Cardano and Polygon. So Cardano Charles Hoskinson claims gargantuan billions in ADA inflow are just getting started. And here is exactly why. Now the crypto markets have been giving mixed signals, but ADA had managed to have a positive day, and this was of course yesterday as usually. I try to wait with these speculatory types of articles on when things have already happened. Why is that the case? Well, because it doesn't necessarily mean that any of these announcements are something that you have to quickly act upon. You just need to know about it. But usually what happens is if I talk about this during the moment that the coin goes up like crazy, then the moment I post a video, the coin goes down and people start thinking, oh no. So what I would rather do is sometimes wait a couple of hours for the price to settle back, make the video on the fundamentals, and then let you decide what the best course of action is going forward, but to not fall into some of the hype. Or what I also could have done is just kind of put a disclaimer that the price might fall because it's being hyped up. Now, this comes as ADA positioned itself ahead of Ethereum in terms of transactional volume. And according to Cardano creator and CEO of IOHK, Charles Hoskinson, this is just the beginning. And this is actually going back a little bit to yesterday. Here's why Cardano proves to be the crypto to watch in 2022 as transaction volume skyrockets. Lark Davis put this on Twitter. Sunday swap launching on Cardano this week could be the start of something big for ADA. Remember, guys, remember this really carefully. I told you all, make sure that you associate yourself in some way, shape, or form with Sunday Swap to most likely get some free monies. I've told you this because I have seen so many of the protocols go live that the majority of times when a new DEX is launched, when a deck goes for an ISO the first time, you can make quite a lot of money on that. And so if you're not involved with it, that's fine, but you can just pick up some free money because it works 90% of the time. Not financial advice, but my thoughts and my observations. So apparently, after a lackluster performance for weeks, right? As I've told you all, Cardano will most likely stay at this value for a little while because there's not really any crazy epochs or crazy stuff going on, which changed right now. With this upsurge, Cardano has climbed to the number 5 spot again among the largest crypto in the industry by market cap, including Solana and USD Coin. It actually outpays them for a little while. The uptrend coincides with the imminent planned launch of the first fully functional DEX on Cardano, Sunday Swap. The team behind the project confirmed in a blog post on Sunday they'll be launching its mainnet on January 20th. With the launch is just a beta rollout with limited features, it'll allow projects to create trading pools for their token beginning Tuesday. The recent rally in ADA also follows robust transactional volumes. As Zai Crypto reported, Cardano has posted a transaction volume of 7.02 billion, effectively trouncing Ethereum, which had a volume of 5.4 billion. Interestingly, users on the Cardano network paid a total of $66,000 to process all transactions over the last 24 hours, while a whopping $44 million in fees was paid on Ethereum. And if you've ever done something on Ethereum, you'd know it's ridiculously stupid. All right, for every single transaction you want to do on your MetaMask, if you don't change the automatic settings, it's going to cost you about $45-50 or so. And you know how many times I've paid more than $60 for transactions, guys? So many. You start to lose count. But I've paid hundreds of dollars today to do some transactions. It's stupid, actually, if you start thinking about it. Every single time I just signed $50 away, $50 away. And now the more money that you're handling, the better it gets, because if I'm transacting a couple $1,000s, it's like, okay, $50, it ain't that much. But today I had a couple transactions worth a couple $1,000s, and if I start, putting it into perspective, it's still 5%, for example, that I'm signing away every single time just for the fees. Actually, it is really dumb, right? But if you're doing stuff on a DEX, for example, you also don't want the price impact to be too high at once. So let's say, for example, hypothetical, right? If you want to transact $5,000 worth of a certain crypto, to actually buy or sell $5,000 at once on a DEX, if you sell it, I don't think the founders really appreciate you doing that, again, theoretically speaking. So you'd rather not. But because it's built on Ethereum, if you do it in 2, 3, 4 transactions or so, which you can do on PancakeSwap over a couple of days, here you're just throwing a couple $100 away to do that. So it's definitely not the best of the best system. But of course, throughout the next year, I guess this year already, the merger and the upgrades for Ethereum will basically roll in. The two altcoins are neck to neck in terms of adjusted transactional volume, as per Masari. According to a tweet from Lark, a crypto investor from New Zealand, Cardano was the second largest blockchain transactional volume, only behind Bitcoin. In response, Hoskins noted that Cardano is just getting started, as it's only January. And basically, some predictions have gone really rampant. I actually think I have like a couple of articles still somewhere of people going really berserk on Cardano, and even Charles Hoskinson going pretty wild on it, but I don't think I have them open anymore. So, looking ahead, IOHK has revealed new plans regarding how it will scale the network in 2022. Some of the key upgrades targeted include an increase in block size, which we talked about. I think we actually covered all these, right, over on Cardano's Twitter yesterday. Increase in block size, the introduction of pipeline to gut block propagation times, input endorsers to increase the number of transactions per second, and IOHK, which I think changed to IOG, also intends to introduce layer 2 Hydra scaling solutions and sidechains that will allow the token from one chain to be used in a different chain. The overall goal of these scaling initiatives is to increase the network's throughput by adjusting different parameters and unveiling new innovations in order to be able to deal with the rapid growth in the ADA ecosystem, specifically the DApp ecosystem. This, according to IOHK, will allow Cardano to onboard first hundreds of thousands, then millions of new users, ranging from DeFi djinns to citizens and developing nations. As obviously, guys, Cardano is also working on a deeper layer with the governments in African countries as of this point. That said, Cardano recently won Vitalik Buterin's Twitter poll, which means absolutely nothing, for best Ethereum alternative. The majority of respondents see Cardano becoming the first dominant currency 13 years from now. Or I guess the dominant currency in 13 years from now in 2035. Which I guess does not really matter because just a Twitter poll means absolutely nothing if you ask me, but okay. And here's why Cardano proved to be the crypto to watch in 2022. Well, basically, if we look at things which are happening, all the upgrades that they're planning, there's a very high probability that Cardano will pop off in 2022 if you ask me as well. Very, very high probability. Here's a full article on Cardano as well about every single detail of it, which you might want to check out if you have a lot of time. I also don't think there's anything in there, though, which is really relevant because none of the stuff they mentioned in here is really good information or good quality, if you ask me. It's just some different guys with different predictions ranging from all different sides of the crypto space, but usually quite conservative, as my own price predictions for Cardano are way higher than that. Having said that, Polygon, a little update on it. Polygon gains massive edge as it activates Matic burn via Ethereum's groundbreaking EIP 1559. So talking about the layer 2 for Ethereum Polygon, at exactly 2 a.m., whatever, the Ethereum EIP 1559 upgrade went live on Polygon mainnet in a rare moment of consensus among stakeholders, bringing with it the burning of the native Matic token and better fee visibility. Polygon, better known as the Ethereum Internet of Blockchains, had not until now had any coin burning mechanism for its 10 billion Matic coins. The network, which is built on Ethereum's Layer 1, had hoped to upgrade their network using Ethereum's EIP 1559, otherwise called London Hard Fork. Now, that hit the mainnet in August of 2021, sought to address two vital issues on transactional fees, and these included the burning of transaction fees based on network load and reducing the volatility of Ethereum's gas price. Before the London Hard Fork, Ethereum used what is known as the first price auction mechanism. According to Eric Connor, the ETH core developer, this meant that everyone had to submit their bid for the gas price, for how much they were willing to pay to have their transaction picked up by a miner. This led to many users grossly overpaying since miners selected transactions ranked by the highest fees. Now, with the EIP 1559 now already showing a lot of success at a 67% burn rate and an average of 325,000 ETH burn per month, Polygon now hopes to take the same trajectory, taking out a huge chunk of its circulating token supply, and the upgrade comes barely 4 weeks after the Polygon team started conducting a testnet alternative blockchain used for experimentation, now called Mumbai testnet. And according to the official announcement on the launch, the burning is a two-step affair that starts on the Polygon network and completes on the Ethereum network, and it debuts has far-reaching implications for the Polygon stakeholders. Yeah, so as for token holders, not stakeholders, a reduction of the circulating token supply will have a deflationary effect, with the analyzed burn representing about 0.27% of the total Matic supply. Token holders can be assured of stronger token prices year over year. One of the things I found most interesting about that is really how, not necessarily illiquid, but how rare it will be to hold a really high amount of ETH or really high amount of Matic over time. Right now, a 0.3% doesn't really look like a lot at all, which I completely understand. But think about it from the Ethereum perspective of burning 300,000 ETH per month. Again, it's not that crazy of a number just quite yet, but over time that really adds up. And you got to think about it for the next generation as well. What is going to look like in 30 years from now? It really, I think, is going to change the game. And it's going to be the standard to have deflationary things. And a lot of assets which are not deflationary in essence are most likely not going to do as well. XRP, for example, is deflationary, but really, really lackluster. I mean, it's going down, but at a pace which is going to take 1,001 years to get $1 billion low, or 1 billion coins lower, if you ask me. It's going to take a very long time, but it's deflationary in essence. I think it just needs to go a little bit more faster. But I guess they've done that elaborately for their price model and whatnot. But we'll not talk about that today. That was it for today's video. Quickly on Cardano ADA and Polygon. Just had 2 pieces of news I quickly wanted to cover. Amazing news for both. Cardano's DEX coming up, which could be a really big thing. Don't hype for it though. Don't go FOMO into anything. Just potentially interact with as many DEXs as possible because it nearly costs nothing, but sometimes you get huge rewards for that. And for example, with pay, I believe one of the best ones to kind of talk about is 1inch, for example, which has had some really, really nice rewards to people. But even Sushi Swap and potentially even Uniswap gave very good bonuses to people who are early contributors, which you might want to do. So I'm just letting you guys know. And for Polygon, just a very nice little deflationary upgrade, which is going to change the game. So yeah, wanted to quickly notify you guys about that. If you want more of these crypto updates, make sure you subscribe to the channel. See you guys again in another crypto video later today.